We have great relationships with a lot of countries, and you may be even more happy when you find out, because we spoke with Bibi Netanyahu today, and we spoke to all the leaders in the Middle East, who are great people, and we're getting pretty close to having a deal on Gaza, and maybe even peace, which would be the first time in about, 2,000 years, I think? In the region, I'd say the first in, Steve, what would you say, first in 2,000 years, or maybe 1,000? Huh?
2 millennium.
It's a long time. Yeah, go ahead. In the beautiful Oval Office. Yeah, please, behind you.
On Gaza, did you promise leaders this week that you would not allow Israel to annex the West Bank? Is that something that you
I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No, I will not allow it. It's not going to happen.
Did you speak with Netanyahu about this directly?
Yeah, but I'm not going to allow it. Whether I spoke to him or not, I did. But I'm not allowing Israel to annex the West Bank. There's been enough. It's time to stop now, okay?
The only reason Donald Trump would forbid Israel from annexing the West Bank was if he was thinking of giving it to somebody else. It's 86 out here in Oregon in the end of September going on October, and so let me get situated and we'll talk about it. I saw a whole lot of news this morning talking about Trump's 21-point peace plan coming out, so if you've already seen that, I'm not going to go super in depth, but I'm going to touch the major points of it and then show you some other stuff here. I'm kind of near an airport, so I find it comical that if you hear airplanes or gunshots, and then when I looked up at the airplane, I could see the moon. Missiles go down, we go up is how I've heard it. I've even had dreams about it. Back to the point. So this is from a Times of Israel article. The proposals envisioning of a potential pathway to a future Palestinian state. The 21-point peace plan is still pointing at Palestine. After Gaza's redevelopment has advanced and the Palestinian Authority's reform has been completed, also appears to be a major departure from the Trump administration's policy to date, given that it has avoided expressing backing for a two-state solution. The plan obtained by the Times of Israel and authenticated by two sources familiar with the matter even sees the U.S. establishing a dialogue with Israel and Palestinians to agree on a political horizon for peaceful coexistence. Point 20 was the only one I really wanted to speak on here. The rest of it is kind of political jargon, but when Gaza's redevelopment has been advanced and the PA reform program has been implemented, the conditions may be in place for a credible pathway to Palestinian statehood, which is recognized as the aspiration of the Palestinian people. Just a couple points. Says no one will be forced to leave Gaza. A process will be established to de-radicalize the population. When conditions are in place, work towards a credible pathway to Palestinian statehood. There weren't any real zingers in the plan other than just saying that it was aiming towards a Palestinian state. This was in there somewhere where it basically said that there would be an international stabilization mission, which would essentially use international forces to militarily enforce some of this plan. France is advancing an initiative aimed at establishing that international stabilization mission that would replace the IDF in Gaza and work to disarm Hamas after the war ends, according to a draft of the proposal. The proposal aims to operationalize an internationally backed declaration from July calling for a two-state solution. That would be the New York Declaration, I believe. The disarmament of Hamas and the gradual transfer of internal security in Gaza to the Palestinian Authority. That last part about the military force reminds me of this verse in Luke 21. When you shall see Jerusalem compassed about with armies, then you know its the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea, which is the West Bank, flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let them that are in the countries, let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. Sorry, a little KJV jumble there. This is a fun little thumbnail that I put together for a previous video, but it's just a reminder that Trump is not looking to do anything different. This 21-point plan still is for a Palestinian state. And if he says that there will not be any annexation allowed in the West Bank, the only reason for that is to give it to someone else or to make it open for, Palestine. And then you've got so much Muslim involvement in this Gaza thing. If he does anything, even giving away Gaza to Muslim control or somehow appropriating it to do, Trump Gaza, none of this looks any good. It all looks like covenant building to me, for the times that we're living in and for Daniel 9:27. I'm recording this on Saturday, and Netanyahu is coming on Monday. So Netanyahu meets Trump at the White House on September 29th, and Abbas, the Palestinian Authority guy, says the PA is ready to implement the peace plan. So there's so many things that are in motion, and somehow Trump is managing to get things done that other people have not been able to do. I just recently heard about this. This guy, Clark Kent here in the middle, says that the U.S. Secret Service dismantles imminent telecommunications threat in New York tri-state area. So listen to what he has to say.
My name is Matt McCool, and I'm the special agent in charge of the Secret Service New York field office. The investigation led us to the New York tri-state area, where investigators discovered tens of thousands of co-located and networked cellular devices capable of carrying out nefarious telecommunications attacks. These devices allowed anonymous encrypted communications between potential threat actors and criminal enterprises, enabling criminal organizations to operate undetected. This network had the potential to disable cell phone towers and essentially shut down the cellular network in New York City. These devices were concentrated within 35 miles of the global meeting of the United Nations General Assembly, now underway in New York City.
Now, what that man just said is exactly what I've heard from Henry Groover, and I've used this clip before, so it may look familiar, but previously it was thought that this communication failure was caused by an EMP, but, clearly they have the capability to do this other ways. So look at this Henry Groover clip.
And I looked down, and as I looked across at the United States, I first saw the eastern seaboard of the Atlantic seaboard, and I looked and I saw these submarines look like they were parked right along our beaches, all the way along the East Coast. And I couldn't believe my eyes. I mean, they were all along there, and so I looked, because at that time we lived in Portland, Oregon, so I looked off across toward Portland, Oregon, and I saw these submarines along the Pacific coast, and I began to look all the way down. As I looked down in towards San Diego, there they were along our coasts. And as I was looking down towards San Diego, all of a sudden I saw motion all across the United States, and these radio towers, it's like they were coming out of the ground and going up into the air, and then they were dotting their lines out like they were broadcasting. And I was made to know that they were sounding the alarm. But as they began to sound the alarm, all of a sudden the broadcasting signals went out and they sprinkled to the ground like dust. And I was totally aware, made totally aware in the vision, that the warning was not getting through. And I shouted in the heavens and I said, "Oh no, Lord, the warning isn't getting through. They won't even know what hit them." And as I said that, all of a sudden, the first missile fired out of a submarine, and it went up and it hit right over New York City. I watched that city literally disintegrate into the atmosphere as that massive explosion took place. I mean, it was gone, folks. There'll be